Let's spend a little time reviewing the executive training program itself. Our training program is an 8-week program that runs 3 times a year in February, June, and September. During the program, your time will be split in 2 main areas. First, you will be placed in a specific buying office and will spend time shadowing the assistant buyer and assistant planners in that office. This allows you to get a feel for what each of these roles look like and also how they work in tandem. The other half of your time will be spent in training classes and presentations. We introduce you to leaders from all areas of the company to present topics ranging from private brand to e-commerce, advertising to inventory control. In addition, you will get a chance to sit down for a roundtable discussion with each of our executive leaders to see where they see the company headed and ultimately how you can play a role in our future. We also like to get you out of the office to experience other areas of our company, which include trips to one of our distribution centers, our photo studio, and our stores. Toward the end of the program, you will sit down with the recruiting team to discuss where you envision yourself long-term. Based on your skill set, interests, and open positions at the time of placement, you will then be placed as either an assistant buyer or assistant planner. Now let's hear from 2 of our most recent trainees regarding their experience with the executive training program.
I joined the executive training program about 8 months ago. I chose it because of the people. They made it sound so exciting. You got responsibility right away, and you were able to see a 360 view of what the company was, and you had a hand in your own development.
As a trainee, you're really able to meet and talk to upper level management. I mean, as a trainee, I could walk around the hallways and I could have discussions with, my VPs, and they would know things about me, and they really seemed like they took a personal interest in my development.
There are 3 aspects of the executive training program. One would be just general systems training, learning the day in, day out systems that Bon-Ton uses. The second part would be touch bases with key executives within the company, where you can learn anything from our growth strategy to how it is within the stores, and you get a very holistic view of what the company is about. These kinds of things are peppered into just general shadowing within a particular buying office.
Bon-Ton has a really unique training program. You get to try out buying, you get to try out planning, you get to see all facets of the company. And then at the end of it, you sit down and you work with HR and you work with your team and you say, hey, where do I want to go? Do I want to be in buying? Do I want to be in planning? And you really kind of get to take a little ownership of the career path you take.
I would recommend Bon-Ton's executive training program because of the development you have within your career and the control that you have. And just because of the people. The people are always willing to help you and just want you to grow and develop, not just for Bon-Ton, but for yourself.
My name is Kristen, and I am an assistant inventory merchandise planner for the Bon-Ton stores.
My name is Chris, and I'm an assistant buyer for the Bon-Ton stores.
Let's spend some time discussing what you can expect for the executive training program interview process. On the day of your interviews, you will be scheduled for a 60-minute interview slot. During that hour time frame, you will have 2 back-to-back one-on-one interviews. These interviews will count as both your first and final round interviews. You will then be notified of our hiring decision within 1 week of your interviews. We know that this is a busy time for you as a student, and we try to provide you with feedback as quickly as possible. From there, students who do receive offers will be invited to a corporate visit at our headquarters in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. This visit is not required, but it will give you a chance to visit our offices before you make your final decision. At the corporate visit, you will have the chance to meet more of our associates, have lunch with our executives, and check out the city of Milwaukee. From there, we feel you should be able to make a final decision regarding our offer. Let's take a look at how each of our buying offices are structured so that you can gain an understanding of how we are organized as a company. If you were to walk into one of our stores, you would see many different departments of merchandise. Behind each one of those departments is a buying office at corporate, making the decisions about what products to carry in our stores. For example, the coats department within our stores has a buying and planning team that controls that department. Each buying office has a buying side and a planning side. The buying and planning teams sit together within the office in a large cubicle pod space, so there is a lot of interaction and collaboration throughout the day. Let's take a look at what the buying team is responsible for. The assistant buyer is responsible for advertising. They choose what product gets advertised and also the promotional offer. They help with analyzing sales trends and building product assortments. The associate buyer's job is basically a mini buyer in training. They are responsible for buying a percentage of the business, which is typically $30 to $50 million worth. Buyers will look at market trends to identify what the next hot product will be. From there, they will handle vendor negotiations and work to maintain those lasting relationships season after season. The buyers will also work on assembling advertising information and other key promotional events. Let's hear from one of our buyers who went through our executive training program.
When I graduated from college, I knew I wanted to be in the retail industry. What really drew me to Bon-Ton was the fact that it's a smaller retailer. You get a lot of exposure to upper management, and you're really able to take on a lot of responsibility right out of college, and that's not something you're going to be able to do at a lot of other bigger companies. As a buyer, your main responsibility is to get the right product into the stores. Now, I do this by working with my financial planning team to figure out how much money I have to spend. Then I work with my private brand team. I also work with the vendor community to make sure I'm getting the newest, hottest, latest product into the stores. I think the best thing about Bon-Ton is the flexibility they give you in your career path. You're able to really do what you're passionate about. I knew I was passionate about buying. I was able to really just work my way up the buying career path. You might be passionate about planning, and you're able to move your way up that path. Or you might not know exactly which career path you want to take, and you're able to then see each side and really determine what works best for you. One of the great things about Bon-Ton are that their corporate headquarters are located in downtown Milwaukee, which means you're steps away from sporting events, music festivals, bars, and great restaurants. Bon-Ton is a great place to work because you get to work with amazing people on a daily basis in a fast-paced and exciting environment.
My name is Kelsey, and I'm a buyer for the Bon-Ton stores.
Now let's take a look at the planning side of the business. The assistant inventory planner is primarily responsible for allocating product across our stores and then replenishing it once it sells. The assistant merchandise planner will partner with the buyer to manage the office's budget, complete sales forecasting, and perform financial analysis. Just like on the buying side, the associate planner is a mini planner in training, and they are responsible for managing the budget for a percentage of the business. The planner's job is ultimately to get the right product in the right stores at the right time and at the right price. They are responsible for building the financial plans and managing the budget. Each buying and planning team can be responsible for $30 to $125 million worth of merchandise. Let's hear from one of our planners to see what a day in the life is like.
I started working the Bon-Ton about 4.5 years ago. Came in through the executive training program. I was a finance major at Iowa State. Through the executive training program, learned a lot, was promoted to an assistant merchandise planner within an office. Did that for about 1.5 years again, and then was promoted to an associate planner. Did that for about 1 year, and then was promoted to a merchandise planner. My responsibilities at the Bon-Ton include managing the portfolio of products, telling the merchant side kind of how much to spend, when to spend it, how to spend it, and kind of how to be profitable in doing that. What Bon-Ton offers me that the competition doesn't is really the opportunity to grow as an individual and grow within my career. I'm not set in a certain path as far as I know when you go into larger corporations or larger retailers that it's kind of set that, okay, you have to do this certain job for maybe 1 year or 2 before you can move on to the next position. What the Bon-Ton offers me is it's really you work at your own pace, you move at your own pace, and if you show the drive and you show the results, obviously it pays off in the end.
My name is Jeff, and I'm a merchandise planner for the Bon-Ton stores.
The roles of buying and planning teams are very much a collaborative effort. As an executive trainee with the Bonton, you will have the opportunity to be fully immersed in both the buying and planning roles before deciding where you see yourself fitting long term. This is an exciting time for us as a company as we launch new strategies, learn from innovative leadership, and position ourselves for unparalleled future growth. As we move forward, it is very important for us to bring fresh talent such as yourselves into the organization to drive the business. Bonton is a place where your ideas are wanted and your perspectives will be heard. We hope that you are looking forward to your interview as much as we are. As always, feel free to contact us with any questions, and we look forward to meeting with you on campus.